in the Atlantic today. We're only watching one area of disturbed weather right now with a 20% chance from this tropical wave. The National Hurricane Center has no tropical activity expected in the next 5 days or in the next 48 hours, contrary to or 20% right there. Also marked by Force 13 if you do want to check them out. Great source as well. As always, I would ask that you do subscribe if you like weather-related content and hurricane weather-related content. Before I start this video, also, tell me in the comments down below if I should start covering the entirety of the Atlantic and do something a little bit like tropical weather bulletins, but just with my spin of it. Just tell me that. I'm actually working on the entire maps and stuff to cover the entire tropical basin where tropical cyclones do form. So tell me if you do want to see that, because I've been really only looking at the Atlantic since I started the channel. So tell me if you do want to see that or not. All right, so here's what we're tracking right now. We've marked this area right here at a 20% chance. Doesn't look too bad from the satellite imagery. It does look like if some models do show it actually getting its act together as it moves through the Caribbean, it could be a short-lived tropical storm Edouard if it does end up forming out in the next couple of hours and days. Mostly in the next couple of days. Other than that, nothing too much expected. In the Eastern Pacific, we do have tropical storm Boris right there. 35-mile-per-hour winds, and those two areas have dropped down once again. That one only having a 10%, this one only having a 40% chance at this point. And Boris right now crossing into the Central Pacific. Looking at the satellite imagery, here's that 20% chance area right here that we've marked. As you can see, just a tropical wave that's going to be coming through into the Atlantic and the Caribbean. I was actually able to see some of the Saharan dust here in Florida, which was pretty amazing. Kind of cool to see. Other than that, that tropical area or just that disturbance moved into Texas today, so that's gone. And then we do still have this area of disturbed weather down there, but nothing expected to form out of that. And just some coastal front moving through. Also, nothing expected to form out of that. So today, our main thing is just this blob of disturbance, I guess you could say, which really isn't expected to form to anything either. But it could very well be. Now, I haven't looked at the new GFS run, so we're just gonna check it out and see what we do have going on with the new GFS run. So let's see here. All right, so not too much right now. Again, they are marking that area that I was talking about. They're marking that area of like this tropical wave. Now, this is what I'm talking about. If you do look in the next couple hours, it does seem it could get its act together and become a 1,009 millibar tropical depression or tropical storm, which could potentially be forming 1,010, 1,008, 1,012, and then dissipate out. But it does look like it could peak at 1,008 millibars in the next couple of hours, or next couple of days, actually. But it does look like this system could be forming in the next 12 hours if that's its best chance at forming. I do think the GFS right now is the only model showing this forming. Let's see the CMC. The CMC kind of shows something potentially forming out in the next. It looks like it could look at its best around the next 24 to 12 hours. What's a GFS bar? That's new. What is that? Okay, a second of it. This model is also showing this forming actually in 2000, a couple millibar system. So it does look like a couple models are showing this form. It could just be a short-lived tropical depression if it does end up forming. Now, the next area we're going to be watching for potential development is going to be in this general square right here in the next couple of days, even a week or so. So the previous models were actually showing a crossover in the Atlantic, or in the Gulf of Mexico, which does not look like that run is actually showing this happening. But previous models were, and yeah, that run isn't showing this happening. But previous model were actually showing this system right here that's going to be forming. Right, they're showing this crossing over with the help of a second tropical storm, tropical depression, also moving through here and actually connecting or making that Florida landfall. So those previous models were showing those two systems kind of merging together in that general area. They were showing only that system form yesterday, and now it doesn't show any of them form. So it's just too far to tell quite yet. But you can see that potential system kind of forming in this general area. At least for if there's gonna be some moisture for some potential development. It's just too far out to tell right now. But it does look like for tropical development, it's just not gonna be too much. Maybe something happening with this right here. Maybe some tropical storm, or tropical depression right here. Other than that, it does seem like it's gonna be very quiet. Kinda in July, and then maybe we could get this to form out, kind of like we got in 2019, where it kind of did something a little bit like this. So we could be seeing this, but for now, it does look like our best chance of development in the next couple of days to hours is going to be that tropical wave, not that one, but the tropical wave located right there. Let's see here. So tropical depression Boris, we already talked about that. Invest 94E, it's not going to form. And then we do have Invest 90S, which could potentially form, but we're just going to have to see if that does happen. The 3.4 index continues to rise. Pretty crazy, actually. At this point, is it going to be an El Nino? I don't know, probably just neutral at this point, but we're just going to have to see. In the Northern Atlantic, still warming up a little bit. Very warm south of Florida right now. Warmest in the Atlantic, and you can see that stress stream starting to move around there. So very warming up. That main development region, we still haven't seen that warm up up the north of that main development region, but the Gulf of Mexico is fully recovered for Cristobal, and we have very good conditions for tropical development throughout the Gulf and the Caribbean. Now, if we look at the Boo on Twitter, he does sometimes show some spins and stuff happening, so we'll go to him really quick before we go on to the next thing I want to talk about. So, on the Boo, okay, so let's see here. So, what does he show? So, he shows this, let's see, alright, so let's see, the GFS would show 1,002 millibars just inside 8 days. So I didn't pick up on that. So I do like to go back to it once I did form. Let's see here. With that, let's see. Oh yeah, so that's that system right here that shows. Yep. So I did point that one out. For potential development. So that could be Edouard as well, as the Boo said right here. Some tropical blah blah. Other than that, it's not showing. That's that spin right here that is showing forming. Yep, the tropical wave also. Those two tropical waves with that kind of spin. So it's just showing what I've been talking about. Not much else. Very high wind shear as well. So not much changes there. It's still showing the same thing as it was before. So thanks for watching this tropical weather update, and this is what I'm working on right now. Each basin, the Atlantic, the Eastern Pacific, Western Pacific, Indian Ocean, and then I think I have like one more to do. So